So Richard, you told the audience a little bit about the importance of editing. I'm just curious, in that image with the shrine and the lady with the red shoes, and she had another red thing, right, in her. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, then you're asking me to really analyze why I chose that picture? Is that what you mean?
What's the editing part of that picture?
Well, back in the days when you shot film, you had a contact sheet, basically. You had all these pictures on a row, and then with like a wax pen, you would choose which one you would like then pick. And now you have like a screen with all those pictures. And, you know, seriously, that's the thing. I just pick what feels right, and I happen to have a taste that kind of like matches with what people also think is right. I have like no idea, man, like why. I'm just, like that's the thing, like I'm like thinking this is the best one and that's it. I really felt I have it and then I have it, yeah.
But you're not editing the photograph itself?
You mean if I'm adjusting the photograph? No. I used to do that actually, like when if you have like a perfect picture in your head and with Photoshop at your disposal, no. Nowadays, every imperfection is actually for me perfect now. That's kind of like how I see things. Sometimes I see people like comment like, "Don't you wish that person in the background would not be here?" I'm like, no, then it will be too perfect. This is great, you know. Like so, I embrace imperfectness at the moment. So, but actually, the picture with the lady and the shoes, that's kind of like a completely perfect picture. Yeah.
It is a beautiful image, like you edited it.
Thank you for this. So on the outsider-insider theme, do you have a different process for how you shot your New York book? It's like the subjects that you selected or what you wanted to be in the book versus being a visitor to Tokyo?
Yes. The New York book, because I live in New York, so a lot of things, so my book from New York is a lot of stuff that I photograph from walking from A to B, you know, every day. And because I had this like struggle with making the Tokyo book of like, what do I do with this cliché as a subject matter? I need to somehow address the fact that Tokyo is different than what the mainstream media showed me. Because a lot of things you feel like you're not stepping in the future, but you feel like this is like a different time where I'm at now in Tokyo. And the moment you step on the Shinkansen train, you think you're 100 years in the future. And so I have the feeling that what I needed to show is different. So New York is basically whatever I have encountered that I've deemed beautiful. This is the first time I really felt I needed to transcend some of that struggle that I was having to balance out the cliché with the beauty of daily life, which are both beautiful. Because the interesting thing is the cliché is part of daily life, and especially I've experienced in Japan. It's it's very much woven into a lot of things that people do. But I try to, so I try to basically. So my motivations were completely different in the edit of the book, and to tell the story and the narrative, yeah.
That's a great
Thanks.
question, and I should have asked more. So this was taken in how long did it take? It was like the 2 trips.
Yeah, so this was like a month total,
1 month.
a 1 month photography comprised in the book. And New York was like, it's like 10, 15 years. A part was archive.
Very different.
But I really feel that because I had such a short time, and I was very productive, of course, I do feel that it's way more consistent when it comes to like the visual flow than New York. Now I feel more and more about New York that I wish I didn't put this picture in there. And here I feel everything is okay in this because it's a flow, like a very good flow.
Would there be like a continuation of like Tokyo?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me what's the next book, what's the next city.
Yeah.
And it's such a.
But you like cities.
I love cities. I'm like I once in a while go to Connecticut to my in-laws, and then I'm like in there, and I love everybody who is like there, but I'm like looking around, I'm like, oh, I'm like, I cannot imagine living there. I would like die. I'm in between those trees. Like, I really love, like, I love the grit and the imperfection, the nastiness, the unexpected situations that make me laugh. You know, you have to have a kind of humor when you live in a crazy city like New York City.
It's true.
And I just love it. Like, when people complain about New York, I'm like, oh, that's why I love it. Whatever you're complaining about, that's why I love it. Like, oh, the rats and the outdoor dining. I'm like, you know.
We have
Love
to
it.
complain about the weather.
Right,
Like
right.
we say, it's too nice. It's like, I don't know what to wear. It's too nice today. That's like a very New York thing.
Right, right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
your interest is in people.
I love
basically.
the habitat of a lot of people together in a space. Although I often question what the hell are we doing here on this rock in New York City, paying way too much money for such less quality of life. But it's still wonderful somehow, yeah.
We get the most funny people here.
It's just wonderful, yeah. Questions? Do we have more?
We have time for one more question, if there's one.
I think I talked loud enough. I wanted to ask you more about the Archer incident, the apology. How did that play out after? I'm kind of curious because, you know, obviously you had the person sort of playing the guardian of the outsider, playing the guardian, saying that you need to apologize. But how did it feel? I mean, lost in translation moment. How did it play out for you to actually see, you know, the people who you had photographed, who some may or may not want to see the images you have taken? I'm just kind of curious about what happened downstream, and that, to me now those photos are far more interesting, and I want to see them. But
No, yeah, I don't exactly understand your question. Is how did I feel about the apology that happened, or in general with all the other things that I do?
beyond the apology, when you were looking at the people,
Right, right, right.
and you know, you're apologizing in English, someone's translating, and was there any element of, I mean, could you read any element of how they might have felt, you know, like as far as the subjects, right? I mean, these people take their archery probably very seriously and might like to see those images. I don't know.
No. But so basically, all the things that you see in the book, that I'm very close to somebody, that I'm in somebody's environment, I have a very good connection with the person who I photograph, and there's all consent and all that. So that's. But I do have to be honest, sometimes there are pictures that I'm very close to a person that I don't have consent, and they can end up in my book, yes. How do I feel about that is, every photographer has a set of ethical tools you work with. You know, there's certain rules that I don't want to picture people who are struggling that they wouldn't choose to be in, for example, when it comes to addiction or homelessness. So I do feel that I have a certain, I like to put people on a pedestal. I like to honor hard labor, the working kind, like myself, and so I do feel that I honor everything that I put in the book, and I hope that kind of like absolves me from the situations that I didn't ask for apology, to be honest. Yeah.
I just love the fact, this is more really a statement, I love the fact that you really respected the culture of the country and did not push the envelope like a lot of people in today's world who want to, I guess, lack of tolerance, or, you know, I love how you respect the culture and you learn the culture while you were there. And I think that is what really comes out in those pictures. And I love that even the imperfection of the picture really, really, truly showed the culture in a way that if you were looking for perfection, you would have missed it. So I appreciate that and how you went about doing that.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Good seeing you.
It's a good point.
So thank you. Yeah. That was the end.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just to